Rangers is a brand new reboot slash reinvigoration of the Power Rangers franchise, and it is the retelling of the original 5 Rangers. We've got Jason, Kimberly, Zach, Billy, and Trini coming together. These are a group of misfits. Back in the original series, it says they were teenagers with attitude. These are troubled, disturbed, off the rails teenagers. These guys are miraculously drawn together by the power coins, the 5 power coins, which then leads them to Zordon on Alpha 5, and this is the telling of how they become the Power Rangers. Now, first and foremost, I'm a massive Power Rangers fan. I grew up with the Power Rangers. For me, it was Thomas the Tank Engine, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then the Power Rangers. And poor mum and dad, they spent so much money on Power Rangers merchandise. It was ridiculous. So much so that I got to see the Power Rangers live show when they came here to Sydney. Here is a photo of me and my buddies Max and Kurt when we got the VIP passes and got to go backstage and see the Rangers. And when they filmed the first feature-length film, they filmed it here in Sydney, and I got to go with Kurt and Max because their mum worked for a company that was in cahoots with the film at the time. We got to see them film the final scene on Darling Harbour with the fireworks, and it was great. When you're that young, it's like being in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. Anyway, back to the review. Now, as soon as you hear reboot or remake, you kind of roll your eyes, but in this case, this movie really worked as a reboot. Mostly because of how fleshed out our 5 main characters are. Now, keep in mind, they don't suit up until about 3/4 of the way into the film, and at first that kind of bugged me. This is just hearing it from other people, but when I watched the film, and now that I look back on it, I totally understand, because they have to flesh these characters out, and they do a damn good job doing so, and they're amazing actors, all 5 of them. They have great chemistry on screen. There's an intimate moment when they're all huddled around a campfire, and some of them reveal why they do what they do and how they act the way they act. And I'm not gonna lie, that was sort of a tearjerker for me, and there was also a tearjerker scene, towards the end of the film. I'm thinking, am I welling up in a Power Rangers film? I was. So what? So we see them become the Power Rangers. They learn to harness their powers. And the beauty part is their suits come within. It's all organic. It's not, it's not deliberately made armor. It comes from within. It comes from within the heart and the binding together of a team. Now, obviously, we know they have to team up to defeat Rita Repulsa, played by Elizabeth Banks. Now, a lot of people were saying, she's cringeworthy in this film. I thought she was great. Like, she fit in well with this world and this story and the rest of the characters. You've got to have that sort of melodramatic, over-the-top thing if you're a villain, especially someone like Rita Repulsa, and I think Elizabeth Banks killed it. She looks like she was having the time of her life, and I was kind of like, that looks like a lot of fun. The makeup and the costume for Elizabeth Banks was amazing. She goes through a couple of costume changes and some changes within her face you guys can see in the trailer. It's not a spoiler, but the makeup was amazing. It was kind of horrifying. There was some kids sitting a few rows back with their mums, like real little kids. I'm thinking, this is scaring me. Imagine what they're going through. I'm a pussy, don't worry about it. And we see in the trailer that Goldar is also in this film, and he's in cahoots with Rita, so the Rangers have to suit up, get the Zords out, and then defeat Goldar and Rita. And that is basically the premise of this film. And to be honest, I had a really good time with this film. I was totally invested in it. The acting was amazing. I thought these guys were gonna be cringy, the 5 of them, including Rita Repulsa. I'm just gonna get my gripes out of the way. My only gripes are the pacing of the film. Sometimes there were some scenes that went a little too long, and you think, okay, you could have wrapped this up a couple of minutes ago. That and those awkward camera angles, those slanted angles that are very Michael Bay-esque. It's been used way too many times. But guys, apart from that, the movie was great. It was fun, it was entertaining, it had me invested, the dialogue was great. For a Power Rangers movie, this is the best I've ever seen. You can't really compare the original Rangers movie and this one, because this is the nitty-gritty reboot that I've wanted, and hopefully you guys have wanted. Now, we all know Bryan Cranston plays Zordon and Bill Hader voices Alpha 5. I think these two were the perfect choices. First and foremost, it's Bryan Cranston. He brings this class and gravitas towards Zordon. It was amazing. He has such a commanding voice. He was perfect for the role, and I love the idea that he's encapsulated in this wall as this organic kind of life form and not this head in a bloody tube. As for Bill Hader as Alpha 5, he was perfect, and they kind of speak their own language and they go back and forth between English, which I thought was really clever. Bill Hader is a great comedic relief, and he bounces well off Bryan Cranston as Zordon. It was just perfect casting right there. The costumes and the production design are absolutely amazing. I have done a video in the past when they first released the official photo of all the Rangers in their suits, And I love the suits. It's just so intricate, all different parts. It's beautiful. You know, the costume department should be commended for their work, and also the work on Rita's costume and her makeup. The set designs are amazing. Now, in the original Rangers, where Zordon and Alpha 5 are, it's very man-made, very production-esque, but within this film, in the reboot, it's very organic, and I love that. I'm more for organic. You gotta understand, these guys are aliens, it's organic life forms, and it totally makes sense. You know, it has been like Bill and Bob down the road that built this for them, you know? So to back it up, I'm really happy that the Rangers didn't suit up, you know, a quarter of the way through or halfway through. It was good to see them go through the notions and struggle with their powers and struggle to harness morphing up, because at first, you know, they're misfits. They kind of don't belong, don't fit well together, they don't mesh well together, but then they end up relying on each other and they form this team, and that's where the power comes from, which is really cool. So guys, overall, I had a really good time with this film, despite the pacing and those annoying slanted camera angles. I thought it was fantastic. It's a great reimagining of the Power Rangers mythology, and it really delves deep into the mythology of the Power Rangers and even the Rangers before that. It's quite amazing and stuff you wouldn't think that they would dare to put on screen. We've also got a Ranger that is on the autism spectrum. We have a gay Ranger. This isn't news. This is not spoiler stuff. This is well known, documented stuff before the movie came out. We have a Ranger dealing with their own autism, a Ranger dealing with their sexuality. That's ballsy, and I commend them for that. So guys, I highly recommend checking out Power Rangers. You have to see it at the movies. The sound is amazing, especially when they're in their Zords at the end, fighting Goldar. It was a good time at the movies. I'm gonna give Saban's Power Rangers 4 geeks out of 5. So guys, when you have seen Power Rangers, please drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Are you happy where this franchise is going? Because there is a mid-credits scene. Let me know what you thought of the 5 Rangers, Rita Repulsa, Goldar, the suits, you name it. Hope you guys are well, hope you guys are happy, be merry, be silly, and until next time geeks, please always remember, cosplayers do it best.